So I decided to do somewhat of a tribute video to recognize Alex Ross. And we're basically going to do it as a random run style video. If you want to see how I'm going to pay tribute to Alex Ross, stay tuned to the video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another episode of The Random Run. For those that don't know, the Random Run series is one that I've recently brought back into the schedule. I originally did it a little over a year ago, recently brought it back, and what I've been trying to do is to essentially mix up how I do the Random Run. Originally, I would identify a random run of comics in my collection and actually share those books that don't necessarily get the recognition that maybe they deserve because they're not really expensive keys. That was essentially how the random run was done before. But recently, it's come back, and essentially what I've been trying to do is to mix it up, to not necessarily stick to a title, but to share books that are associated with some kind of theme. I did one recently on Wolverine, in which I actually showed various books from my collection that looked at different aspects of Wolverine. He was known as Death and Patch and James and Logan and Weapon X, etc., etc. And in this one, what I want to do is to share books from my collection that are all associated with Alex Ross. In my opinion, Alex Ross is probably one of the appreciated cover artists out there. And I think that the dude is extremely talented. Someone recently asked me if I had a favorite cover artist. And I do and I don't. I like Alex Ross, but I don't necessarily go out of my way to buy his covers simply because he did them. But I do appreciate the talent that this guy has. I enjoy it so much so that I actually watch a lot of his videos on YouTube. And I'll try to link to his channel up in the top of this video if I remember. But I watch his videos, and the only thing that I don't like about his videos is that they tend to be 2 minutes or less. And that's just not enough time. I want to hear more from him, because I'll tell you, if you watch the guy's videos, he can talk about paint and paper and brushes like nobody's business. It is honestly a captivating thing for me, the way that he appreciates some of these things that I don't quite understand and I don't always appreciate. It is really, really fascinating when this guy starts to talk. And I would love, Alex, if you're watching this, I would love to see a much, much longer video where you talk about your process and all that good stuff, how your mind works. I want to see it. I want to hear it. And I think that other people out there probably would appreciate it as well. But with all of that said, I want to actually show you some books that are sitting off to my right. And I can tell you, I have a ton of Alex Ross books in my collection. At the end of this video, if you stay tuned, I'll actually show you some books that I won't be showing here in this part of the video. I've saved some of them for the very end, kind of like an honorable mention kind of thing. So you definitely want to stay tuned to the end of the video because there's some awesome books that I'll be showing a little bit later. But for this part, I have a random assortment of comics that I'm actually going to show, and we're actually going to start off with a graphic novel actually, and this is one that I have not read. I tried to read this book, but I honestly struggled, but I think that the cover is still really nice. This is an Alex Ross cover for Kingdom Come, and it's a wraparound cover. Really, really, really nice stuff. And what you'll notice as you look at the various pieces that I'll be showing in this video, they have a similar feel to them. Not necessarily always a similar look, but there's a feel that comes along with it as you look at Alex's pieces. And I may have to go back and watch some of his videos to get a better feeling for how he defines that feeling that he tries to impose in his artwork. But this right here is probably one of my favorite covers. There are many that I really, really like, but this is one of my favorite because it features my favorite color and my favorite character, and so it's kind of hard. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 600. Just a gorgeous red cover featuring Spider-Man and Doc Ock. Just incredible, incredible artwork right there. You can't even see Doc Ock in this thing, but you see all of his arms kind of wrapping themselves around Spider-Man. Just a really cool cover. One of my earliest pieces that I picked up from Alex Ross was one, it's really a series that I'll show you, that I picked up probably back in 2005-ish, if memory serves. It was the Avengers Invaders. And at the time, I honestly did not know that this was Alex Ross. Had no clue who he was at the time. I just remember seeing these on the shelf, and I liked the Invaders. I thought the covers were great, and so I had to have them. This is issue number 4 of the Invaders. And again, I'm not going to show you every single issue. This is a random run after all. Here is issue number 3. Really, really cool one featuring Namor and Namor. And if a lot of the rumors that we are hearing right now about the MCU or Marvel Studios picking up the rights to Namor and Incredible Hulk, if that is true, that they have secured those rights from Universal, we could see some Namor coming up really soon. This one is, to me, a quintessential cover featuring Alex Ross. This is Avengers Invaders number 2. And again, you can see that there is definitely a feeling, and in some cases, a look that is continued over from piece to piece. Here is issue number 1 of that same series, Invaders. Just, again, really, really cool artwork right there. Really well done. Fast forwarding many, many years from that to something that is, I think, really, really hot and also ties back to what I was just talking about with the rights from Universal for Namor and also the Incredible Hulk. Here is a series that Alex Ross worked on that I would love to see come to the big screen. It is Immortal Hulk number 2. Just gorgeous. I mean, the talent that this guy has is really, really incredible. This is, I think, a book that has very low circulation, low print numbers, I do believe. Here is issue number 7. This one, again, is very reminiscent. If you think back to one of the Invaders covers that I just showed a moment ago, this is very reminiscent of Alex Ross. Very reminiscent of that cover. Number 12, as soon as I saw this one, man, Immortal Hulk number 12, just a gorgeous cover. I actually have 2 copies of this one. Just really, really fantastic artwork. Here is one more from that series, Immortal Hulk, featuring the Absorbing Man and Immortal Hulk. Just gorgeous. I mean, I could have probably shown you every single cover from Immortal Hulk because every single one of them is fantastic. Here's another one. This one is pretty cool. I don't know that I've actually read this one. I actually picked up this book and the next book as part of a collection that I purchased. It is a Jonathan Hickman series, and Alex Ross actually did the covers. This one is really cool. Features a whole lot of Thor. This is Secret War number 2. And it's like every Thor-related version of Thor that ever could be. He managed to get into this cover. Secret Wars number 2. Here is Secret Wars number 1. This, again, is just a really, really cool cover right here. This reminds me of a couple, one Amazing Spider-Man cover and maybe one Avengers cover has a similar kind of depth of feeling to it, where you see some things up here in the foreground and then it kind of tunnels down to the background. Just really well done. I'm not sure how many people know about this series, but or even if you knew that Alex Ross did it. This is Earth X number 12, featuring some Heralds of Galactus right there on the cover. Just fantastic, fantastic artwork. I would love to see the originals of this. I have a feeling that they are probably pretty incredible. These next 2 are 2 books that I recently picked up. I read them digitally, and could not wait to get my hands on the hard copies. It is, in my opinion, one of the best story arcs featuring the original Human Torch. This is Torch number 5, 5 of 8 in fact. The way that Alex Ross does flames is incredible. It really is incredible. I mean, the flames look like they are popping off the page. I mean, it's really, really well done. And again, I could have shown you probably every cover from this 8-part series because each one of them is fantastic. And here is issue number 1. Gorgeous black cover, red flames popping up off of that background. Just fantastic. So there you go. That is essentially my random run honoring Alex Ross. And as I mentioned, if you stay tuned until the end of the video, you'll see some additional bonus footage of other books that I did not show in part 1. So I hope that you'll stay tuned for that. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Instagram or Reggie@regiecollects.com. Take care.